Yeah, LeBron James and the Lakers took a commanding 2-0 series lead over the Rockets on Tuesday. James has looked like the king against the Rockets so far in this series. He's recorded a double-double in Game 1, scored 28 in Game 2 to help propel the Lakers to that 2-0 series lead. This is the 25th time a LeBron James team has taken a 2-0 series lead. His team has won all 24 previous series. We now have Kenny the Jet Smith back with us. Are you encouraged by the Lakers or discouraged by the Rockets, Kenny?
Well, I would say encouraged by the Lakers, because when you have a basketball team that you say you have an A, B, and C option, and Luka Doncic was A, you had Austin Reeves at B, and LeBron James was at C. And now your C option is leading guys who are probably were just space guys who could create space for you. Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, and DeAndre Ayton have really played exceptionally well, while the C option is leading. And I will say this, you talked about me being blasphemous earlier about talking about the Knicks, but LeBron James has moved a slight bit closer to the legacy of Michael Jordan in my mind, because this is incredible that a guy who's 41 years old is leading a team this way. Because if I was 25 years old and a 40-year-old walked into the park, I would be like, oh, this is an easy win today, because he cannot sustain the type of effort that he would need. But he is making three guys who were really just thought of to space the floor, mark and defend. Marcus Smart come and defend. Luke Kennard space the floor. And DeAndre and rim run, he has made them prominent offensive threats right now, which is incredible.
We're running out of time, Kenny. I'll say this to you. Shockingly, I'm glad you're sitting down. I agree with you. He's moving closer to that GOAT status. I agree with you, because I think what he's done is phenomenal. To be on the Mount Rushmore of basketball as one of the top 4 players in the history of basketball, and to be deferential to Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic throughout the year, to play all 5 positions, even the center at one point in time, to triple-double 1 minute, 30-piece another minute, doing whatever it takes to win. You can't say enough about LeBron James. Has been absolutely phenomenal. But the answer to this question is the disappointment in the Houston Rockets. I mean, you're 10 for 34. That's 29% on wide-open threes in this series. You worked all year knowing you had lost Fred VanVleet. You never went out and got a point guard. You got Kevin Durant having nothing for you in the second half. This ain't chopped liver. This is KD Trey. This is one of the greatest snipers in the history of basketball. What the hell is going on? So you're looking at the Houston Rockets right now, coached by the great Ime Udoka, who's being out-coached by J.J. Redick at this particular moment in time, because J.J. Redick is finding switches and solutions and stuff like that and making adjustments, and Houston seems ill-equipped to do anything. What is Reed Shepherd, one of your best shooters, doing on the bench, even though he's not a great point guard? What is he doing on the bench for a chunk of time instead of when you need shooters out there? There's a lot of questions about Houston right now. They're not looking good. They're not looking impressive. And if the Houston Rockets lose...
It was a good official who made a bad call. He was trying to save the ball either off the opponent's body or get it into somebody. He's trying to do that. Clearly, there should have been no technical. But let's see, the league office has been open for about 35 minutes for business.
Yeah.
And they're probably looking for a blank check for Devin Booker, because you do that. Mm-hmm. And Devin is, I mean, pretty even-tempered, I think we can say, over his decade in the league. That's not going to go down well. In a playoff series, to call out an official by name. So yeah, that's the secondary story from that game. The first one you hit on already. J-Dubs going out with a hamstring. Look, he only played, 32, 33 games this year?
Yep.
And so for him to now have that injury, something that persists, something that you can't figure out at all how long it's going to last, it doesn't hurt Oklahoma City in this series against Phoenix. It may not even hurt them in the next series, which looks like it'll be the Lakers.
Yeah.
But beyond that, whether you get Minnesota or Denver, San Antonio, that's going to be tough. And SGA referred to that, made reference to that specifically about needing him in the long haul, defend this championship. after the game.
One thing, though, and it's a shout-out to Sam Preston and the way this team has been put together. They have so much depth.
They do.
So if you lose Jalen Williams for the rest of this series, you still have Chet Holmgren and so many other young guys that slide right in for now. You're not looking for a Robin the entire time like the Pistons, and we'll talk about that, of course, as we continue. All right, let's continue the time to sound off here. The Timberwolves, they talked a big game after stealing game 2 on the road against the Nuggets with Jayden McDaniels calling several players, including Jokic and Jamal Murray and Aaron Rodgers, bad defenders. Yesterday, Cam Johnson and head coach David Adelman responded to the trash talk. Let's take a listen here.
They just been saying a lot all season, all series, so let them talk. Let them get everything they want off their chest. Cool.
Thoughts on Jayden McDaniels' comments about your team's defense?
I can't wait for his podcast.
Well, that is well played there, by the way.
Yes.
But did McDaniels wake up a sleeping giant? And a backstory here real quick, too. This is the spiciest first round.
This is
These two
terrific
teams do
budding
not
rivalry.
like each other,
No,
right?
they don't.
So your reaction to what
They don't.
McDaniels said?
They've been going at it for what, 3 postseasons
Yes.
now, and my reaction is this is good for the league. This is good for the playoffs. This sort of back and forth. You haven't seen as much of that. People want to troll. People now, they want to do passive aggressive junk. I'm old enough to have seen real rivalries where guys went after one another, starting with head coaches.
Yes.
In the 80s and 90s and in the aughts. This harkens back to that. Glad to see it.
Yep.
Glad to see more of this series. People may not think when we sit here in New York City, Kevin, of Denver and Minnesota being big rivals. They are that. It's one of the best rivalries in the NBA right now.
Can't wait. And I can't wait to see how Jokic handles it, as well as Murray, because they've been called out after just 2 points in the fourth quarter. Speaking of calling out, C.J. McCollum took over the guard in Game 2 when he led the Hawks on a fourth quarter comeback to stun the Knicks and tie that series. Here's Onyeka Okongwu on his teammates' performance.
Happy for him. He shut that Knicks crowd up. And, he's going to do the same thing tomorrow night here.
About going after Jalen Brunson one-on-one, and CJ's one of those wily veterans. He understands.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yes, your reaction to what Okongwu just said.
C.J. McCollum is a leader. It's amazing. He's in Washington in basketball purgatory.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And I may not be able to go home having said that, but it's true. CJ is bailed out. He's saved. He goes to Atlanta, a place with so many young players that need to be led by somebody who can also still play. And CJ can do both those things. You know what he was doing when he's in New York? He's not a villain. The line about having a wife and 2 kids was brilliant.
Yep.
And he just sort of laid it back in the lap of the Knicks and Knicks fans in Madison Square Garden. When they get back, for Game 5, we will hear more about that. But CJ McCollum knows exactly what he's doing. It's up to the Knicks now to figure out how to keep him from getting in the lane like that, getting past Jalen Brunson, having 32 points, would have been 34 if he hits those 2 free throws.
Yeah.
That's very real. And that's more than just leadership. That is still playing at a level that maybe people thought CJ couldn't play anymore. He is.
They have wings. The Hawks like to run here. When you look at the Knicks, you look specifically, you have Cat, you got Brunson. Who has to step up to help Jalen Brunson for the Knicks to get back into this? And again, when I say get back, we know it's 1-1. It's for the fan base to feel really good about potentially Series 2 and Series 3 for a deep run.
Anunoby and Bridges are going to have, defensively, you guys can't help shut off some of this. Those are 2 spectacular individual defenders. And so the Knicks are going to have to go to them. Look, they can't hide Jalen Brunson is going to have to play better. Perk has made really us laugh about talking about sliding those puppies. And Brunson's going to have to play better. He can't just play one end of the floor because Jalen was terrific and he kept them in it offensively late. But he was also getting abused defensively. All right, so the Knicks are going to have to go back to sort of last year's defense we saw.
Yeah.
When we saw them get past the Celtics. We've seen the Knicks play at a higher level. They're going to have to do that in Atlanta, preferably for them in Game 3.
They got to help Brunson out on the defensive end because he carries such a heavy load on the offensive side.
And by the way,
he's exhausted.
If Mike Brown wants to go to two bigs, if he wants to go to Mitchell Robinson and Cat at the same time, and Cat is going to have to be more involved in having 2 shots in the fourth quarter. So there's a number of things that we're mentioning here, Kevin. All of them seem addressable. None of them seem, like problems that the Knicks can't solve quickly, like tonight.